Even though they're only a touchdown behind, they've continued to go into the no huddle, which has given them a lot of success here in the second half.
They just huddled up there, though. Gave the Giants a chance to breathe.
On 2nd down and 10. Garcia buys more time, fires, has his man. Catch is made by Cedric Wilson. And a first down. The ball came out at the end of the play. And the officials have not made any call as to who has possession. They huddle and now will call timeout, and the referee, Ron Winter, will try to find out what took place. Remember, Wilson muffed a punt earlier. The ball came out, and the Giants said that they recovered, but they have not made a call on the field.
And we've got to see where his knee is. The knee's there. The ball's still in his possession. That's 49er football.
And that's the call that they just made on the field.
And as you see here, they're not huddling. They're going to the line of scrimmage. They're making the call.
And that forced Jim Fassel to throw the flag without really getting a chance to watch the replays. If he'd had a chance to see the replays, I think he would have not taken a chance on blowing a timeout. I don't think there's any question. The knee comes down before the ball's out. Right there, his knee's down. The ball is still in his possession. 49er football. Good call by the officials.
The ball is at the Giants 38. And Jim Fassel is getting an explanation from Ron Winter, the referee.
I think what he's saying is that once the whistle blows and we blew the whistle, there is no challenge.
The runner's down by contact or by rule. The play cannot be challenged. Play results in a first down.
They got the call right, and in essence, Jim Fassel is arguing it works out to the Giants' benefit because it won't cost them a timeout.
That's exactly right. I think when it's all said and done, and I know Jim is very upset here, but I think when it's all said and done, he has a chance to go back and look at this. Then he's going to realize this is working in his favor, and it's going to save him a timeout, because this clearly would still be the 49ers' ball.
So they return that challenge red flag, and it's first down for San Francisco, down 8, and nearly stepping in front for a pick was Shaun Williams.
And Jeff Garcia is certainly a very good drop back quarterback. But to me, the difference in this football game, when the 49ers have been getting something going on the offensive side, is when he's been on the move, either out of the pocket, stepping up, presenting the run-pass threat, because these receivers are so good at staying alive in that scramble drill down the situation, down the field. Keep getting him outside the pocket.
2nd and 10. That's Johnson, the tight end. And the catch is made about a yard shy of a first down.
And this is interesting here. Even though it's going to be 3rd and very short, they are still not huddling up. Jeff will be making this call from the line.
And Garcia keeps it on a sneak. And it certainly doesn't look like he got enough from where the officials are running in to spot the football. And this will bring up a decision. It is 4th down, and it appears it is. It is 4th down. Do you try for the field goal or go for the first down? There's almost 11 minutes left in this 4th quarter.
You know, maybe a little bit of it has to do with how healthy they think Jeff Chandler is.
And how much confidence the 49ers have in him.
Well, they're bringing in their 3rd down back, Fred Beasley. Remember, he's the one who carried it on 4th down and was unable to make the first down earlier.
Today on 4th and 1. Unsuccessful the first time. Garcia dumps it. The catch is made, and it's a first down, 49ers. Tie streets.
Boy, I tell you what, how cool is Jeff Garcia? 4th and 1, game on the line. He finds his 4th receiver. He literally is going to look from one side of the field to the other and still manages to find the 4th guy open for the first down. Great single-handed play by Jeff Garcia.
What was a 38-14 Giants lead 24 points is down to 8. Garcia has not been sacked today. And we'll have a timeout called by the Giants, taking it on defense. Garcia hit as he throws, and the pass is incomplete. Owens, the intended receiver, and Brandon Short, the linebacker, broke it up. Let's go to another turning point in this game. We showed you the Cedric Wilson muff on the punt, and now you see this turn of events. First, you have Shockey dropping what was a sure touchdown throw. Then Sutherland making a fair catch and getting hit at the end of the play on a punt. The 49ers marched it down, got it in the end zone. And then their last 2 touchdowns that followed them up with 2-point conversions.
And that Shockey play seemed so insignificant at the time.
3rd down and 5. Pass is complete for a first down to Owens.
I tell you what, they keep matching up Jason Sehorn inside when Terrell Owens lines up in the slot. And when Terrell Owens comes off the ball and just runs away from Jason Sehorn, he cannot keep up with him. This is not even close. If that ball's out in front of him, Terrell Owens may even score on the play.
They're using that stack formation, so they're not able to get a jam on him either.
From the 11. End zone. Incomplete. Owens got a hand on it, and Troy's shaking his head because Sehorn's on him again.
Well, they got to get him some help because it's obvious right now that Sehorn is completely confused and he's not being able to play Terrell Owens, which you're talking about one of the best receivers in the game of football, if not the best player. And one-on-one, it's a big task to ask, and Terrell Owens getting the better of this one right now.
Well, and the other thing they're doing is they're putting Owens in motion or stacking him, so he's getting the clean release off the ball, and then when you get down the field, a very difficult matchup for Sehorn.
2nd down and 10. Beasley, the fullback, on a change-up call. Ball's forward to the 8. And it'll be 3rd down. And by the way, the 49ers can get a first down without getting the ball into the end zone.
And I don't know if I've seen more tired defenders on a football field than what I'm seeing out of the Giants right now. These guys are just absolutely gassed. The pass rush isn't getting there. They're kind of leaning on people. The secondary is getting tired. This is a tired defense trying to hang in.
Third and 6. Garcia out of trouble, throws it away. And now it's 4th down, and now you have to bring the field goal unit onto the field.
I'll tell you what, once Garcia steps up and he starts moving out to the right, he had a lot of room to run the football. He might have been able to run that in himself, but I can tell you that it puts tremendous amount of pressure on these defensive backs when they see the quarterback with time to throw, knowing that they've got to maintain the coverage.
I think he walks in the corner of the end zone if he takes off. That defensive lineman wasn't going to catch him.
25-yard try from Chandler. 8 out of 12 on the season. No problems, bad left ankle and all. That means it's a 5-point game. 7:49 left in what's turning out to be a thrilling game in San Francisco. From Chandler's good to make it a 5-point game. Short kick. Very short. And Joyce on the run takes it at the 20. A decent field position at the 36 for the Giants. Up above, these stunning views of the Bay Area in today's NFC Wild Card Game, courtesy of the Saturn Lightship. Saturn and its retailers hope you're enjoying Fox's coverage of today's game. Hello. What looked like a blowout in a steamroller type day for this Giants offense has turned into a nail biter, a 5-point difference, and the Giants now on offense forced to go back to work. They've done nothing lately. Pass is complete to Shockey.
Well, this drive right here is going to test these offensive players for the Giants, and it's also going to test Jim Fassel in how he's going to call this series of plays. And I like that he comes out on first down and gets the ball into Shockey, and now they're in 2nd and short, and it opens up a lot of things that you can do from a play calling perspective.
2nd and 4. Total yards dead even. Barber tiptoes and fights forward for what appears to be a first down. Brought down right at the marker. A good spot. It looked like Barber got the first down, and he did.
Give Jim Morris some credit, though. His shift in defensive philosophy away from the man-to-man coverage and back into this cover 2 zone has really slowed down the passing game. The problem is that allows you to run the football. So this may well be a time for Tiki Barber to start taking over the game, running the ball.
That's Campbell out of the backfield. And Dan, who was last seen kicking his helmet along the sideline, has a 9-yard pickup brought down by Mike Rumpf.
And that's the big key, is what they're doing right now on first down is they're staying ahead of the game and just thinking about moving the chains. On that first down play earlier, they pick up 6-7 yards. Here they pick up 9 yards. Actually, they pick up 10 yards to get a first down. And so they're doing a nice job of staying ahead in the down and distance.
Jim Morris Sr. watching his son's defense try and stop the Giants again. First down, New York. Barber right up the gut. Big hole up the middle, covers up the football, and has another first down.
Well, that time the 49ers came with a blitz, and Tiki Barber was able to hit it just right up the gut. They bring the pressure off the corner, and Derek Smith literally runs himself right out of the play trying to cover for the stunt down inside.
I think one of the things that the Giants are going to be doing right now is they're going to be keeping their eye. That's why they're still in the huddle. They're keeping their eye on the 25-second clock. Right now it's at 14, and counting down and try to take as much time off this clock as they can.
See if they keep it on the ground on first down. They do. Barber covers up, and he's brought down by Bryant Young. No gain on the play.
Jim Mora won the guessing game that time because they were back in their man coverage and brought the 8th man up in the box. I think Kerry Collins has to be willing in that situation when he sees that man-to-man coverage on the outside to check to a pass, because these guys have not been able to cover these Giants receivers man-to-man all day. Now they're back in the zone.
That's Shockey up top on second down, and Collins goes right to him, and he fights for the ball again and gets it. Brought down inside the 25.
And that is a great throw by Kerry Collins. Mike Rumpf goes to jump that, and if he leads him on the throw, there's a good chance this one's intercepted. He reads the play. He throws it to his backside. And Jeremy Shockey, being the athlete that he is able to snag that ball.
That may have been a pretty good throw. That was one unbelievable catch. That guy's hands are so strong. He gets hit and catches more balls than anybody I've seen in a long time.
3rd and 2. Barber. Looked to be short of the first down. He is. By about a yard.
Yeah, and that's an area of this offensive line that they have struggled. They just have not really been able to move people out in the running game, and it's hurt them in these short yardage situations, not only today but over the season.
Now Barber's slow in getting up after the play. They've stopped the clock because of the injury.
Boy, this is going to be one major decision for Jim Fassel if this is not a first down as they have it marked. Do you go for the field goal and try and make it 8, or do you go for the first down and try and run out the clock?
Boy, by the way they marked the football, this is not a first down.
No, it doesn't
not
look
even
like
close.
It would be. And you know, Chris, to answer your question, if it's me, I say, hey, the 49ers have to score a touchdown anyway if they're going to win this game, and I say you go for it and try to pick this first down up and win the game.
Well, as it is, Matt Bryant's coming out.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to agree with Jim Fassel on this one, because even if they score a touchdown coming back the other way, they still have to hit the 2-point conversion to beat you, as long as Matt Bryant can make this one. You miss it, though, The 49ers get great field position.
Second worst percentage in the league from this distance, this range. 42-yard try. Awful. Yanked wide left. Bad snap. Allen got it up. And Bryant hooked it left.
And I think that's another reason why you go for it and try to pick up the first down. They've had problems with snaps. They've had problems with holds. They've not been consistent kicking the football. Right now, as you mentioned, Cris, they give the 49ers good field position. And I don't know, you'd like to have a little confidence in your group that on 4th and 1 you can pick that up. And had they have gone for it and made it, they're able to win this football game.
That's just a choke shot right there by Matt Bryant. That's as close to a shank as you can get.
Well, they bring in Trey Junkin, who's been in the league 19 years during the week, sign him as a long snapper. There was question as to whether Barber would stay as the kick center. They went with Junkin, and he just unleashed a bad one. Now down by 5. Garcia steps up, throws, and hits. That's Williams making a strong tackle on J.J. Stokes.
And the good thing is that Shaun Williams was able to keep J.J. Stokes from getting out of bounds. So the clock is still running, but a good tackle by Shaun Williams and not allowing J.J. Stokes to get any more yardage or get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Each side with 2 timeouts remaining. 2nd down and 6.
No.
That ball skipped in, incomplete, with Streets the intended receiver.
And I don't know what Jeff Garcia is doing. I really don't. You've got Terrell Owens on the outside. Jason Sehorn playing off coverage. He was wide open. It was an easy pitch and catch. I know you want to try and distribute the football, but it's down to championship time. And right now, when you get this kind of a coverage on your star player, you've got to throw him the football.
The best team in the league during the season on 3rd down, the 49ers. 4 of 11 on 3rd down today.
Here's Terrell Owens.
3rd and 6. Pass is caught. There's Terrell Owens, and there's a first down.
They had Will Peterson that time on Terrell Owens and pretty physical, holding him up at the line of scrimmage, but Terrell's such a big physical guy that it takes more than that in order to keep him from getting separation.
This 2-minute warning hits at a good time for the Giants defense, giving them a chance to catch their breath. The 49ers on the move again, down by 5. Lets it fly, and it's out of the reach of Ty Streets.
Well, he had him too. He had a chance at Ty Streets. Ty Streets had a step again on Jason Sehorn, and Jeff Garcia just pulls it a little bit and is unable to get him the ball. And better look, but he's got 3 steps on Sehorn.
You know, but Terrell Owens again was one-on-one and open, running across the middle of the field. I guess they're thinking they'd rather have Sehorn on anybody rather than Terrell Owens on anybody.
2nd down and 10. Pass complete to Johnson, the tight end. He's at midfield. 3 yards shy of a first down. Again, the 49ers with 2 timeouts remaining.
And right now, this Giants pass rush is just not getting the job done. They haven't sacked Garcia all day long, and they're playing against 2 backups in there.
3rd down and 3. Quick setup, and left alone is Johnson, the tight end. Down the sidelines and out of bounds inside the 30.
Troy, that's probably the most basic play in the NFL playbook. A slant, and the tight end released him to the flat, and what happened was the corner, Will Peterson, runs underneath to the slant, and nobody is out there on the tight end Johnson.
Well, it looked like Will Peterson is playing man. Everyone else was playing zone. That's why it opens up that spot. Nobody there to make the play. That should have been Will Peterson, that is. It should have been there.
From the 25, Garcia. Jeff Garcia. First down, San Francisco. And Garcia's going to spend a timeout. You see the Giants defenders standing around with their hands on their hips, sucking wind, but they get a break.
You see the man-to-man coverage right here. Everybody's locked up, and that's what creates the space for Garcia to get up inside, move. All the defenders have their backs to
Watch
Garcia.
this one right here. Mike Barrow is in man coverage and is turning and running away from Garcia as he's running down the field. He never even sees him coming.
And once he does, Garrison Hurst, who he was covering, turns back around and makes the block, which allows Garcia to get up a little bit more. Did you see it right there? Right here's the block that Garrison Hurst puts on him.
Tremendous play, though, by Shaun Williams. Once I saw that block, I thought it was either going to be a clip or a touchdown, and Shaun Williams just came flying out of nowhere to save it. That is one great tackle because he really didn't have the angle at all on Garcia, who runs pretty well.
The ball at the 13. First down, San Francisco. 1:10 left. Garcia fires, and it's incomplete. Stokes, the intended receiver. Should the 49ers come back in this game, it would be the second biggest playoff comeback victory in NFL history and tied for the 5th biggest comeback overall. You know what the biggest comeback was?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills coming back to beat Houston 41-38 back in '93, and Warren Moon, who was the quarterback for the Oilers, is here at this stadium today doing the radio call.
Yes, he was. I saw him before the game, and we wound up beating Buffalo that year in the Super Bowl.
Second down and 10. Garcia fires. Touchdown 49ers. They've come all the way back. It's streets. A late flag comes in after the play.
And Terrell Owens on that play after the touchdown started taunting Shaun Williams, and Shaun Williams attacked him. I don't know if they're going to see the TO taunt, which is going to lead to a penalty, but then if Shaun Williams doesn't react to it, they're going to gain 15 yards on the play.
So the touchdown will stand. It was after the play. And the question is, who will be flagged? What part did they see?
They're still going at it. They need to get Shaun Williams out of there.
If it's against the 49ers, well, we'll just wait and see. But Shaun Williams did climb back toward Terrell Owens, and now Owens is looking at the 49ers sideline saying, everybody calm down, and I think he's talking to himself more than anyone. So here's the call from Ron Winter.
Two separate fouls on the play. Number 81, offense, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 36, unnecessary roughness, defense. Those two fouls will offset on the kickoff.
And a huge mistake by Shaun Williams, because that 15 yards would have just been invaluable. Jeff Garcia did a fantastic job on this one. Terrell Owens was double teamed to the inside. He found the single receiver, threw it to the outside shoulder of Ty Streets. Just perfect execution by Jeff Garcia. What a second half he's had.
And now going for two yet again. The 49ers 2 for 2 on this today. Trying to make it a 3-point game. And they cannot. Plays dead. And it's a 1-point.
There's another penalty. Terrell Owens, I do not believe it. Terrell Owens with a personal foul.
And then Omar Stoutmire, he gets into the middle of it again as well.
Same exact situation. Same exact situations. If the Giants don't retaliate, they're going to gain 15 yards, and they can't keep their cool. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous for professional football players to blow that situation 2 times in a row. And Terrell Owens, well, we all know that is ridiculous at times.
The ball is dead. The play's dead. And then it's Owens shoving Allen out of bounds. And then Stoutmire comes over and climbs on top of Owens.
So both safeties, and you can't blame them for wanting to defend their teammates, but you've got to understand the situation. And now they're going to go at it again. It's just ridiculous. I mean, you've got to keep your cool out there.
There are two separate fouls on this play after the try was over. Unnecessary roughness, number 81, San Francisco. Unnecessary roughness, number 36 of New York. By virtue of his actions, number 36 has disqualified himself.
But, Cris, as you said, he's also cost his team 15 big yards, where all the Giants need is a field goal to possibly win the game. And in essence, the unnecessary roughness by Owens is just erased because of the work that the safeties did for the New York Giants.
That's like getting an interception and turning around and handing the ball back to the guy. It is just so dumb. I can't even get over it. And maybe if it only happened once, the first one you say, all right, they're frustrated. But once it happens once, you don't come back 30 seconds later and do the same stupid thing again.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think you do it the first time either. And, you know, it's time for these guys to grow up. I mean, they know going into a game, going into a season, that this is a point of emphasis. It's going to be called. You've got to know the coaches talk to you. You've got to be smart and play the game, and dumb players lose football games.
All right, I'm going to settle down now and start focusing in on the game. That makes me nutty. That just makes me nutty because you're killing your football team. You guys work the entire season, and you're going to give it away with something stupid like that.
Chandler with a short kickoff again. This is Delvin Joyce from the 15. Big return from Joyce. And now here are the Giants with a ball outside their own 45. And now here's more junk after the play. Unbelievable that that would continue.
But at least his teammates here. Now, well, Chris Bober's going to beat up his own guy. At least Bober knows what's going on.
Jim Fassel needs to get a hold of this team and get them under control, as does Steve Mariucci, because it's absolutely ridiculous. But to get back to the game, how big is it that the 49ers did not convert and get the two-point conversion? Now, with plenty of time on the clock, 2 timeouts, the Giants can move 20 yards and put themselves in position to win this game.
Starting at their own 48. Pass is complete. Depends on the spot as to whether it's a first down, but it's Ron Dixon.
Kerry's having a hard time getting the play out to Jeremy Shock and these wide receivers.
It was a first down catch by Dixon. The throw for Toomer. A fight for the ball, and the ball comes out. It's incomplete. It looked like Plummer had it for a moment, but it's ruled incomplete.
And the field judge was about to call that one an interception. He was reaching for the beanbag, which would have indicated an interception, and the other 2 officials came in and waved him off.
Well, Amani Toomer does a great job of playing defensive back on this play. And right there you see the ball's got to stay in possession. Ahmed Plummer, and it doesn't. It comes out.
He thought that there was an interception. When you throw the beanbag.
Well, he was getting ready to call it an interception, but I don't believe that it was.
This thing upstairs. You can challenge this. I'm surprised the replay official.
But he never had possession.
Can't do it.
On second down and 10. Now there's a penalty flag.
Absolutely. That is the job of the replay official upstairs. And had that snap been run before the replay official buzzed in, they could not have reviewed the play.
Well, they should have had some time on the clock then. If they didn't let him run it, there was seconds that came off the clock when they snapped the ball there. If they're going to review this play, they should add time to the clock.
Play game. Offense. Penalty. And then second down.
He never had possession, and you could see the point of the football touching the ground. But you go back to a game in Cleveland a few years ago. Remember that whole thing when the buzzer didn't sound in time and that whole controversy?
2nd and 15. Wide open is Dixon. A first down inside the 30, and the Giants will call a timeout. And now the focus goes back on the sideline, and it goes on the place kicker of the Giants, Matt Bryant.
And I tell you what, I do not stop my offense right now. I think that Matt Bryant is still on the very fringe of his range. I'm still playing offense and trying to gain more yards.
Nice job, Ron Dixon, finding a spot in that zone. Kerry Collins hanging in the pocket, getting him the football. Huge play there to put him in a position to at least attempt a field goal if they don't lose any more yards from here.
And the value of having Ron Dixon, the veteran, back in there and not having Daryl Jones in the game.
The ball at the San Francisco 28, 1st and 10. The Giants with 1 timeout left. Collins throws it down the field. Toomer incomplete. A lot of pressure on Collins, who just threw it up.
Well, Jim Fassel missed on this one because they run a rollout with Kerry Collins and move the pocket, but they move him right into where the blitz was coming. They were coming off the edge, and it's a double move on the outside against a Med Plummer with Toomer, and Kerry throws it up, but it gives him no chance. The ball's out of bounds.
But I thought he had Ron Dixon in the flat right away, which had to be the hot read in that situation.
Well, Kerry's got to be smart here. There's only 9 seconds in the game. He cannot take much time getting rid of this football.
And if the receiver catches it, he has to get down.
Quick setup and throw. And out of bounds is Toomer. The ball will be marked at the 23-yard line, which would make it roughly a 40-yard field goal try. Coming into this game and during the regular season, Matt Bryant was 9 for 9, attempting field goals in the 4th quarter and overtime, which includes the game winner last week, a 39-yarder.
Well, and just know that based on the rule put in this year, that regardless of whether he makes it or misses, there will be 1 second left on the clock.
San Francisco will spend their final timeout and try to ice Bryant. And how many Giants fans and 49er fans, for that matter, are thinking back to the 1990 NFC Championship game, which took place the 20th of January in '91. The Giants defeating San Francisco on Matt Barr's field goal, a 42-yarder, with no time left on the clock. The game here in San Francisco, headed down this way at Candlestick Park. You remember the Leonard Marshall knockout hit on Joe Montana, the Roger Craig fumble, and then Matt Barr hitting from 42 yards, his 5th field goal of the game, and the victory for the Giants at 15-13. Allen will place the ball at the 31, making this a 41-yard try. Trey Junkins snapping it. Bad snap. Allen couldn't get it down, and now he fires.
Pass interference. They're going to get pass interference on that play.
And even with no time left on the clock, a penalty on the defense will continue the game.
There's another flag down, though, on this side of the field.
Probably had illegal man down the field.
It is an eligible man downfield.
And that offsets.
The 49ers celebrate. Some fans get on the field as the referee, Ron Winter, will give us the call.
Man downfield on the offense, number 65. By rule, the game is over.
Joe, let me tell you the mistake that was made that time by the holder. There was 6 seconds on the clock. It was 3rd down. Once the snap was muffed, if he stands up and throws the ball into the ground, you have an incomplete pass, and they could have had a second opportunity to kick that football. Right now, All you have to do is raise up, spike it down in the ground, and you get a second opportunity right then, right there. A blown job that time by Allen.
Adding Trey Junkin during the week. 2 poor snaps, the latest one wide on that 41-yard attempt. And Junkin, who's been in the NFL for 19 years, was in camp with Dallas. 2 poor snaps that may have cost the Giants a chance to advance in the playoffs. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Jeff Garcia said, let's go, so let's go. Sum it up. What in the world are you feeling right now?
Just awesome. You know, it was a never-die attitude, and we got down big. The Giants are a great football team. They've really come a long way as compared to where we saw them the first week. But you talk about guys just stepping up and continuing to fight. An all-out effort. Defense came up with big stops in the second half. Gave us a chance to make plays. Offensive line, receivers, everybody just kept going, fighting. What can I say? It's awesome.
Down 24 points. How were you able to keep your wits about you and that offense not go in the tank and come back for the drives that you were able to?
I think one thing you have to realize, you're not going to make 3 touchdowns in one play. You have to just go one play at a time. We had lots of time. It was a matter of just executing. They allowed me to throw the football. We started getting into some sort of rhythm. Guys were making plays. Offensive line did a great job all day long of giving me time to do what I needed to do. Just a great feeling right now.
Where does this victory rank?
It means we're going to Tampa, I believe so. So we're just excited about this big win. It's a great feeling. Nothing compares to this right now. But it's going to be short-lived because we have a tough situation to go into next week, and we're going to be ready for that.
You survived this one. Thanks, Jeff. Let's go back up to Joe.
All right, Pam. Jeff Garcia was absolutely tremendous in the second half, and on that final drive, got what he wanted. Telling us he wanted to get a 3rd wide receiver on the field. He did, and yet again marched the 49ers down the field into the end zone to ice what was, in the end, the second biggest playoff comeback in NFL history. Down by 24 points in this second half. Steve Mariucci and the San Francisco 49ers come from behind to eliminate the Giants and win this game 39-38. Everyone will catch their breath here in San Francisco, and we'll come back for final thoughts. On the other side of this break, the 49ers advance. They'll be in Tampa next week.